quick Saffy update. Two-ish weeks ago now, went to feed them and give them a brush, and Saffy had been hiding in her little house thing. She hadn't been coming out, but she came out obviously because I fed them and then went to brush them, and I noticed her paw, the one in front closest to me, her left, there was something on it. So I went to try and get it off, and when I picked it up, I realized it was her nails. Her nails were severely overgrown, like they were thickened widthwise and curled up almost into her paw. I think there was one actually going back into her paw. I was like, how did I miss this? Like I brush the cats, I feed them, but I haven't been checking their claws because I don't know, I do remember when they were little, I used to check their claws daily, and or at least every couple of days, just to get them used to it, and but I never had to cut them, so I never thought of it. I felt like shit, and I obviously booked her in for the next vet appointment available, which was in a couple of days. And I was like, oh. And when she went to the vet appointment, she'd actually lost weight. She's always been difficult to keep weight on since she was a kitten. Flair, not so much. Sometimes I've actually had to put Flair on a diet before. Saffy has never had to go on a diet. I've quite often had to try and convince her to eat more. Yeah, the vet also felt her tummy, and she said that one of her kidneys felt enlarged. So we were just like, what else might be going on? The vet thought she might be diabetic. The vet was also worried about hypothyroidism, no, it must be hypo. But she said she doesn't really show other signs of it, so that wasn't up there. She also dropped and she was like, we might need an ultrasound because it might be a lymphoma, and that was just blurted in the midst of a whole bunch of other words and sentences, and she was speaking really quickly. This vet's amazing, by the way, but she does speak very fast. It can be hard to keep up with. Obviously, I know what she's talking about, so it's like, you didn't just blurt that out and I didn't catch it. I did catch that. I don't want her to have a lymphoma. That is, yeah, not good. Took home a little bottle of cat litter, but they were round pellets sort of thing, and they didn't absorb pee, and we went to put that in a litter tray. I hope Saffy peed in it. She held for 24 hours, then she escaped and possibly used, I am assuming she used Flair's litter tray or her normal litter tray in the time she escaped. She just escaped the shower. We had her in the shower to try and if she peed anywhere outside of the litter, then we could catch it and not make a mess, and then she couldn't get to Flair's litter or pee anywhere else, you know what I mean? So we had her in the shower, mostly in our shower, because the bathroom one, it was too hot in there. Our shower, we can have the bedroom aircon blasting, and then it is a lot cooler in that shower recess. She escaped, and then we put her back in again, and then we went to Meriden overnight. I had cameras on her and stuff, but she must have peed and pooed when we were out of signal on the way back, because when we got home, there was pee and poo in there, and I was like, crap, you finally peed, but poo's contaminated it. So I had to try, and luckily she pooped up one end and most of the pee was down the other end, so I just tried to get a full sample of the pee that wasn't near the poo and contaminated. We came back on a Sunday and the vet was shut, so I couldn't get her sample to her until until Monday afternoon. We had cat pee in a jar in our fridge for a bit, but yeah, we handed the sample in and then had to wait a couple of days, and then it came back that she didn't have any signs of diabetes. Her urine was very concentrated, which suggested she was dehydrated but had good kidney function, and I was like, she might not be dehydrated, it might be concentrated because she's held it for over 24 hours. She could also be dehydrated, but yeah, of course it's concentrated. You should have seen how bloody long she held. There was nothing concerning on the urine sample, which means the next step is bloods, which are they're like $380 or something, just for the bloods, and then you actually have to book an appointment to get the bloods taken, and basically the next appointment's going to be about $500. What I'm hoping, a couple of months ago, I went in and there was like a bloody footprint on the bathroom bench, and I was like, what the hell, how have you guys hurt, like how have you guys cut your paw? Because it was when in the bathroom, because we had the mouse poison problem, and I was like, how did you cut your paw in here? There's nothing to cut your paw on. But now I'm sitting here thinking, what if that was Saffy's paw and she did injure it, and then like the injury has caused the nails to overgrow, like she didn't losing my voice, and now I'm feeling like extra bad for not quadruple checking their paws, but I swear they didn't have any blood. Like I checked them all. Hi. What I'm hoping is that her paw, that caused the paw to overgrow, and then because she was in pain from the paw and then also like competing with her sister, that's why she's not eaten as much, and because she's always been hard to keep weight on, she just needs to eat slightly less and she's instantly losing weight. The vet also mentioned she could have a kidney infection, but no, I'm not turning it on. Why? Because I don't want it on. Mummy's going out here. When we got her nails clipped and stuff, one of the nails had, either the nails or the clippers had gone into her foot, so her foot was bleeding. So she got given antibiotics and pain relief. I'm hoping maybe it was a kidney infection and she's and maybe it was a kidney infection and the antibiotics have solved it, hopefully. You got Mickey Mouse Clubhouse in the background because Chase won't let me go away anyway. What we're doing currently, trying to feed Saffy up, feeding her separate from Flair sometimes. The problem is Saffy grazes. Flair will pig out and eat meals. So if you put food down, Flair will eat it up straight away. Saffy won't touch it. She'll just like pick at it slowly. So it's like you can't just feed the meals and give Saffy more and feed them separately because Saffy won't eat it. So it's a real pain in the ass. Got to go get some kitten food. I've just been giving her, like I've been scrambling some egg and sprinkling that over the top of her food. Been using some tuna flavoured toppings that they got for Christmas, and that was super helpful. I was using those on the scales, actually. The scales are just behind me. Just putting a little bit of that on the scales so that they held still on the scales long enough to weigh them. Trying to encourage her to eat more, giving her some soft food mixed in. I want to get her different biscuits. I can't remember the reason we originally switched to these ones. We were using Advance and we had an issue with Advance. And I can't remember what it was. I think it was hairballs or something. And we switched to this cheap one and we haven't had as many hairballs. And I was like, oh, awesome. Like, it's way cheaper and the problem's not as bad. But yeah, I'm a bit iffy changing her food up heaps because A, she's really picky, and B, like changing foods can cause like diarrhea and like vomiting, and that's not going to help her condition. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do. I am going to try and get some kitten food because that's more nutrient dense. And then hopefully, but yeah, I was in Aldi because it was the only shop I went to, and they had puppy food, and I was like, oh, I might just get some cheap kitten food from here don't have kitten food, just puppy food. My aunt has sent us a bunch of taurine supplement. I looked at the taurine content in their food and it's bare minimum, which if they were eating enough, should be enough, but she's obviously not eating enough for her weight, so she's probably not getting enough taurine. And also they occasionally get dog food, which hasn't got taurine added to it, so we got that. So we're basically going to I'm weighing them every day or two, hoping they'll gain weight. If I can get her to put on weight, then I'll just take her and Flair in for vaccines in a couple of weeks. And then she can get rechecked over, make sure her kidney doesn't feel enlarged still and all that sort of stuff. And we'll put it down to something that we fixed. If she's goes downhill or doesn't gain weight, we'll have to save and go get the blood test done and see what's going on and hope it's something treatable and cheap to treat and can be discovered with a blood test, because there's a few things that can't be, like lymphoma and stuff, and it's like I bet we have to go and like spend ages trying to figure out what's wrong with her. She has actually gained weight. I can't remember exactly what she was at the vet. I think it was 2.35 kilos, but it was definitely in the threes. She's now 2.4 something kilos. But other than the initial gain, not gaining overall. One day she'll gain, next she'll lose again. Meanwhile, Flair's gaining weight, so yeah. Hold still, hold still, hold still. Uh-oh, hold still. One, 4.19. There you go. 3.475. 475. I haven't been eating a full amount, so just a little bit of wet food. Ugh. So I've got Blair out here and Saffy in there. Saffy feels safer in there. Those are 2 hairballs I have to pick up. But yeah, hopefully they, like, see, Blair is eating. Saffy probably won't be, which is the problem I have.